So I have my PowerPoint hooked up to the monitor for my class.
Yes.
It's working properly. I verified that the videos will play when.
We got 10 parts per
Start
million
off
carbon monoxide
down
in here.
on our male side.
Is the gas on?
That's working. I have light.
On our male side of the coupling.
My emergency exits. I have my test for after with riding utensils, safety equipment, and hose for demonstration.
You have it turned on when we like that, right?
Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. This is my Instructor 1 final project. Just a heads up before we start the class, the emergency exits are over here and over there. If you need to use the bathrooms, they are around the corner, and we will have a break after this class. So, are there any questions before we start? No? Good. So today's topic will be on the different type of firefighting hose rolls, specifically the different donut roll methods. My name is Austin Wendt, been a career firefighter for almost 8 years, an ALICE instructor, CPR, first aid, AED, HA instructor, and firefighter paramedic here. So, introduction to the hose rolls. So, obviously, we all know, we all work in the fire service. The hose rolls are essential for efficient deployment and storage. There's different hose loads for different things, like we have on our engine. We do the crosslays. Our wildland packs are with donut rolls, but just different rolls for different methods. Proper techniques prevent hose damage and ensure quick connections. And lessons covered are the 3 common types of hose rolls used in this fire operation class. So the objectives, these are things you should know by the end of this class. Number 1 being to identify the purpose and advantages of the different hose loads and hose rolls that I'm going to teach you today. Explain the difference between the donut roll, twin donut roll, and the self-locking twin donut roll. And you'll be able to demonstrate correct hose rolling techniques safely and efficiently. Any questions? Cool. So the first one we're going to learn today is the donut roll. The purpose of the donut roll is to be used when it's likely to be deployed directly from the roll itself. The advantages of that are firefighters control both ends of those couplings, preventing damage, so not banging them on concrete, hard surfaces. They're easier to roll out with few kinks because you're controlling the mass end, and it's easier for making faster connections. Practical uses for the donut roll could be somewhere like confined spaces, stairwells, where you want to be able to hold on to the connection ends, and wildland hose deployments like we use here in our department. Here's a quick video on how to do the donut hose roll method for your viewing pleasure.
Start off down on our male side of the coupling. We'll grab this, and this will fold directly over back onto itself. It doesn't cross, it doesn't turn. It just folds directly 180 back over onto itself. We'll lock this down. Now, for our sizing, to get a distance from our male to female coupling.
In this video, he does 3 boot lengths in practice, and what I've been taught and used about foot and a half seems to be a little bit better. I think this is a little long. You have a lot more of a tail doing it this method, but it's the gist of how to do the donut roll. So
you'll have to figure out, if it's 2 feet, 2.5 feet, whatever works for you, so that you get the appropriate finished product. Okay. Once I roll this up, you guys will see what I'm talking about in regards to that. So we come over, fold it, get ourselves our correct distance. As we walk back to the fold, we will straighten out our hose.
you notice he's stepping on the hose there to help keep it in line. I know we're always taught not to step on hose, but if you're by yourself doing something like this, it might be helpful.
Press it out nice and flat. That way it's easier on us when we go to roll it, okay? We take our pole, bend it over, start to roll it. As that rolls, you guys will see that the top layer of the hose will start coming up. As we continue to roll, we're going to keep feeding this forward.
And this is something you're also going to want to do after getting all the water out. So initially rolling it, get the water out, debris out of it, before doing this. This is kind of going to be for your final load or storage. So this is not something you do right after a scene or using the hose. Perfect. There it is. We can use bungee straps, hose straps, wrap around that, keep them tight, keep them close. The next method for rolling hose that we're going to go over is a twin donut roll. The purpose of this is best for 1.5 inch, 1.75 inch. This also we can use for the 1 inch toy hose that we have for wildland hose. It creates a compacted and transportable roll like we have for wildland packs. They have it secured with the bands in the backpack. Key features, obviously, like you said, it's easy to carry and deploy. Couplings are offset for easy connection and may use hose straps for carrying. Pretty similar to the normal donut roll, it's just it keeps it a little bit tighter and not as large of a roll itself. Practical uses, again, stairwells, confined spaces, wildland firefighting, carrying it longer distances. Another video on how to do the twin donut roll method.
Alright, next up is going to be our twin donut. Alright, so same thing, we're going to start at our male end. When we pick this up, instead of folding directly 180, we're going to take this and it will turn. Okay? I want you guys to see here.
What's going on?
Creates this kind of racetrack loop. Okay, imagine a Hot Wheels car. It's able to go around. So we'll take this.
That's pretty important that you show right there, having that racetrack loop, not having it fold up on itself.
This will run.
Oh shit. Hold on, he's still with class. I got
To
a
the
lot
other
here.
half of the hose.
Sorry, doing some instructor shit here.
Come back. Now the couplings will be even with each other.
A little bit different than the donut roll is having your couplings in line even. You don't have that offset, that 1.5 foot offset. Like you see him doing there, you're dressing it up, keeping it nice and tight. Like he pointed out before, that bend is really important. Someone explained it was like a NASCAR loop, the NASCAR bend in the track.
So from here, okay, we have the racetrack, the kind of berm style here. This will naturally, when you bring them together, want to create this arrow-shaped fold when you compress that down, okay? From here, we take that fold, roll it over, and begin rolling our twin donut. Make sure your hose stays dressed out so that the twin donut doesn't start walking away from you or splitting.
What it means by dressed out is the hose lengths are touching each other in the middle. So he's going to roll it all the way to the end. The couplings are going to both be in line there. Like you said, this is pretty similar to the donut roll, but just a little more compact and makes it easier for transport. The final method that we're going to go over is the self-locking twin donut roll. The purpose of this is it's similar to the last one, the twin donut roll, but it has a built-in carrying loop. So say you're out there after we stretched the whole bulk bed or a wildland hose and you're cleaning up, you've rolled your hose up, got the water out, but we got to carry multiple sections of hose back to the rig and you forgot your hose strap, or you're in your wildland pants and you don't got your hose straps on you. This is just a way to, as you'll see here in the advantages, loop to secure in on itself and carry itself. It's nice about that is it is adjustable for different people, so you can do a smaller loop if you're a little bit closer to the ground, or a larger loop if you're a little bit taller. It just makes carrying hoses easier. Like I said, good for cleaning up after larger incidences with multiple hundreds, if not thousands of feet of hose out.
Alright, next up we've got the self-locking twin donut roll. Okay, start off at our male coupling again, pick it up, again, take it.
Similar to
turn
the
coupling 180,
twin donut roll, you do that 180 spin, create that bend,
we're going to cross over.
but what's different, crossing over,
Right? Now,
and that's
take
not
this,
super important. You can go all the way to the end and then do your crossover, but you do have to do that crossover and have that bend in there still.
When we reach the couplings, will be even with each other. Proceeding back, dress out our hose. Now, where the cross occurs, we need the cross to be further down by the actual bend in the hose. So we will continue dressing this out parallel to each other so we get a little closer to our pole. Alright, so approximately 3 to 4 feet from the end, we'll take our fold and fold it back over onto itself. Okay, now we want to create a loop from our hose. Now the size of the loop will be determined on your body size, okay? At the end of this, you'll be able to put a loop over your shoulder and the rest of the hose will hang. You want that hose to hang roughly right around your waist level so that you can play with how large you make this loop here, okay? A good starting point is to take your arms bent, place fingertips on one side, fingertips on the other, roughly like that, okay? Give yourself a nice loop, okay? Then you'll take it where it crosses, pinch them down, grab the center of the loop that you just folded over, pinch it in, and begin to roll. Okay, the initial fold and roll will be a little bit difficult to get started. Once you dress out that first part though, as you begin to roll, each roll from there on out will be that much easier. Alright, so we've got our couplings even with each other. Now to create the loop to throw over our shoulder, we're going to pull one side, okay? One side will not pull easily, the other side does. So we'll pull through a bit of hose.
So you want that flag on the far side just to be in between, about that middle point in between those two.
It hits about the halfway point. We can take the long loop and pass it through the other loop. Okay? When we pass it through, we want to pass it across the open ends or the coupling ends of our hose so that this locks down.
So you capture the couplings and your thing doesn't come unwound, or you have long couplings banging on your hips as you're walking.
Through, hose back.
So if you need to adjust the height on that, that'd be something that you'd have to unroll it back out till you make those loops. Make them wider, like you said, put your fingertips, elbows out.
Next up, you've got yourself.
So some safety considerations, obviously always check your surroundings before you're practicing your hose rolls. If you're gonna roll your hose out, make sure there's no property or people that you're gonna damage. Ensure, obviously, like we talked about earlier, that the water and debris are drained from the hose. So like we said, these are for loading these back onto the apparatus or loading them for storage. So you wanna make sure they're as clean and water-free as possible, maintain our equipment. Always maintaining where our couplings are. We don't want to bang, scrape them, concrete, damage them. And wearing proper PPE, helmet and gloves is going to be minimum. I mean, your turnouts or whatever else you're in is important, but those gloves and helmet are minimum. So let's practice. Reggie, would you like to practice the twin donut roll?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
The twin donut roll. Make sure it's all married together nice. You did a good job there. You got that arrow and you're gonna start rolling. Perfect. Good job wearing your PPE. Perfect. Good job.
Okay. Good job, Reggie. Thank you for demonstrating that. We're just gonna discuss a few things and finish up with the written test. So, a couple questions for you guys before we get down to our written test. When should the firefighters use the donut roll? Anyone?
More compact, confined spaces.
Perfect. What would you say the benefit of the twin donut roll is compared to a donut roll?
It's more compact. More compact.
Perfect. And how does the self-locking twin donut roll improve safety and portability, Kyle?
Allows you to transport the hose further distances.
Perfect. And the advantages in application of each roll, like I said, the donut roll allows you to roll your hose compactly and carry it, protecting the couplings. That's the big one with the donut roll. The twin donut roll is more compact than the donut roll itself and allows for easier storage and less space. And the twin locking donut roll, I'd say the advantages in application of that is just being able to carry more distances, like Kyle had said. So in conclusion, hose rolls can improve operational efficiency and reduce damage to the hose, damage to yourself, damage to your ego. The mastery of the donut roll techniques is essential for effective deployment, so especially like that twin locking donut roll, that's something you might have to practice yourself, not try and think about to do that out in the field for the first time. And continue to practice and build confidence and safety awareness, and you guys will master it. All right, that is the end of my class and introduction. We'll have a small quiz. We will pass out this quiz, and I will grade it at the end, and we can talk about it if we have any issues.